Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Corey and Kevin Talk About Nothing. If you're tuning in for the first time,
I'm Corey.
I'm Kevin, and welcome to our podcast talk show.
Episode 67.
Episode 67. What do we talk about on our podcast talk show?
A whole bunch of stuff.
Equates to nothing.
Yeah, which equates everything to nothing, actually.
Mm-hmm. We're all just a simulation, man.
Exactly.
Nothing
Are we in
matters.
a turtle's brain right now? That's awesome. All right. Well, so before we get started though, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. So if you want to get notifications when we drop new content, drop new episodes. And there's always that way you can get a hold of us if you want to shoot us an email. cktalkaboutnothing@gmail.com. And then you can tweet us at CoreyKevin1 if you want to tell us anything about the movies you talk about, give us your opinion on it.
We love opinions.
We really do.
we won't if it's a bad opinion, we'll tell you.
Well, yeah.
We like hearing opinions. How about that? There we go.
Okay.
Because if it's a bad opinion, we can be like, get out of here. Yeah. We don't like your opinion here.
Yeah, your opinion is not good.
Your opinion's not right.
Yeah.
So we got the giggles today.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because we watched a particular movie this week. And I know we normally don't start off right away, but I figure why not, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I agree.
So on, I don't even remember what day, but Eric Andre, I've been waiting for this. I knew about this movie
You've been talking
coming
about
out
it a couple times. Yeah.
It was picked up by Netflix, fortunately, after a very short limited release in theater, and with the pandemic going on, Netflix stepped up at the plate. They knew gold
What was coming? Yeah.
when they saw it. And Eric Andre, I don't know how studios take gambles on that guy. He's a wild card. So you're like, yeah. I don't know if you have to have like lawyers on site or contracts. Like, I don't know what you have to, but you got to have like a team of people, I'm sure, with Eric Andre.
You have to be prepared. That's the best way. I mean, you are well prepared for this man in all aspects. You have to be.
Yeah. But the movie's called Bad Trip. And it's a buddy comedy, which they nailed the buddy comedy, especially the hilarious tropes that they throw in there. And it's so good because it works because it's in public. Like, it's not...
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Oh, here we go. We're seeing this same scene in a movie. Like, I know I've seen that scene in a movie, but this is hilarious.
Because this is real.
This is real, yeah.
Yes. I love it. I'm just going to jump to the end real quick.
Yeah.
But actually seeing at the end, did you actually watch the credits and the ending part of it? I love that, dude. I thought that was so awesome because I always wondered, as this is happening, I'm like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like,
what happens afterwards, right?
Exactly, because that's my favorite part. Like, sometimes, you know what I mean? I don't want to see all of it, but just the initial shock factor and then the realization of what's going on, you're like, dude, that's awesome. So, but I love that aspect too. I mean, the movie was great. It made me.
Yeah, I did forget to ask because I'm kind of just imposing here because I have an inhaler scale, right? Well, so we'll say 5 out of 5 inhaler puffs.
Oh, that's going big.
Hey, yeah, I think we were laughing just as much as his TV show. I was having a great time with it. Some skits, I thought every skit was funny. But there were some that were just obviously better than the rest. And there's a terrifying scene where they're connected with a certain Chinese torture finger trap. That's it.
Yep.
And they go into a certain barber shop. Dude, I felt so scared for them because I'm like, dude, run, get out.
It's real. I mean, seriously.
Right.
You are...
it turned quick.
Yes, 100%. It actually blew my mind, and and I have to give the actors credit. Eric Andre and
Lil Rel Howery.
Who?
Lil Rel Howery. And Tiffany Haddish.
Yes, but I thought his name was hold on a second, Hannibal.
No. Hannibal's on Eric Andre's show. The guy in Bad Trip is Lil Rel Howery. We'll wait.
Snap. No, you're right. That's so funny, man. I looked real quick and I don't know why. I automatically assumed that. But
He
you're 100% right.
he is so funny though. He's like such a perfect counterbalance to Eric Andre. It was I thought it was really funny when they go to what was the country saloon or whatever they went to. Dude, oh man. Oh. And then they like all had him included, not Eric Andre, the Lil Rel Howery, where they're like singing Happy Birthday or whatever. Eric Andre is off doing whatever, and he's actually like included in whatever the group is doing. It is so funny, man. It just seemed like he's just like, screw it, I'm here, let's have fun. You know?
Exactly, absolutely. So like that's one thing that I wondered too, because I mean, but maybe not everybody watches the Eric Andre show, but that's one thing I think it's hard about like the Impractical Jokers type of thing too. Like with both of those scenarios, how are they not getting recognized? If Eric Andre came up to me and did anything that he just did to me, I would just know who that man is. You know what I mean? So it's not gonna be.
Well, so I agree. Like if Eric Andre was looking crazy, I would say yes, but you'd be surprised, like people just walking past you if there's no special attention or anything.
Well, that's true.
So,
okay.
So there's that, and then for Impractical Jokers, I agree because that's on like True TV, and I feel like they've been just blasted everywhere. So
everywhere.
But I have read that it is increasingly difficult. They get more and more people that call it out and see them, and they actually have to keep them off frame because they'll ruin it for the people that they're doing it with.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so like it's been a problem, but I mean obviously not, I mean they keep coming out with more stuff.
Yeah. So it's still working.
Yeah. Apparently they're. I mean, I'm sure they're wealthy, and I hope they're wealthy because they've made me laugh so much. But
I think they brought back a genre. Personally,
what's that?
I think they brought back like that different kind of genre. Like
oh, dude,
I think they shined in their.
Oh yeah, I mean they took like a whole show and just like this is like that is their stuff, man. Like nobody could copy that and be as funny. Like
no,
those people are fantastic. But there's an episode where they paint all of Murr's grass like pink. And he has to cut it until it's green. But I didn't realize that was his house. And it's like a gate. Like there's like a gate, like an automatic gate opening up to this house. I'm like, wow, okay. Like,
yeah.
I see they got that Impractical Joker money now, you know?
Absolutely. Them rights are big time.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. But I mean, speaking of Impractical Jokers, their movie was kind of a flop.
Yeah.
I loved the challenges. I thought all of that was great. I thought that was awesome, but there should have been 90% more of that.
Absolutely. Not. No offense to these guys, but they're not true blown actors. They're not movie actors. So like that to me, that's the biggest problem. I mean, yes, you could consider them actors in their own genre, but they're not a movie actor. You know, they just can't do that. You know,
it's more like coming off as a parody of yourself. And,
absolutely, 100%. And that so you're actually just setting yourself up for something so you're putting your own parody out. It just doesn't make sense. And acting in your own parody, it just, you know what I mean? It just doesn't click very well.
Right.
It just doesn't. So yeah.
And then it was like, but when it was over, it was like, oh man, like I wouldn't have minded that even being longer or cut out some of the more acting scenes and put more challenges in. You realize why people are watching your movie. Like, we only get half-hour episodes of challenges. Let's see what like an hour and a half of challenges would be. Like that would be awesome. But I felt like we got the same amount of challenges, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, I feel like Impractical Jokers. Watch the movie Bad Trip. I know they're two different types of hidden camera type of stuff.
Yes.
But the structure is very similar. Buddy comedy on the road. You're doing gags, right? And Bad trip, dude. If you've watched the Eric Andre show, this stuff was fantastic.
It was awesome. It really, 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 really was good. Yeah. But I have to say that the Eric Andre show I think is a little bit worse than this show.
It's like hectic, chaotic, and
it's insane.
They like smash your brain in with 12 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's crazy.
Yes.
So this was very. I liked the Eric Andre show. I'm not saying that by any means. But
right.
Like I would be able to deal with a full episode if it was more structured like the movie was, right? That little bit more in that perspective, you know?
Not the chaotic cutting.
Always, yeah, exactly, yeah, all over the place, you know?
Oh, man. So, Tiffany Haddish, though.
Oh, yeah.
She, like, made the movie even herself, because she was so damn funny, but so damn scary.
Yes. Dude, seriously, really scary.
I loved, like you said about the end credit stuff.
Yeah.
I love the interactions that anybody had with, like, Tiffany Haddish, because they were all like, oh my God. She's so intense. So you're just like, okay. Whew, she doesn't actually want to kill me. All right.
Absolutely. Okay, so the one question that not the one question, but the one scene that really made me laugh that actually with her in it is when with Craig, the picture. Remember that there was
Is this you, Craig?
Yeah, this is you, Craig. I saw you on Facebook with him. You tell me I don't know my chorus, dude. I am just laughing hysterically, dude. I don't know. I actually had to go back and rewind it after I saw that part. At the very end, I'm like, I gotta go back and see the reaction again. I gotta see this, you know,
especially because
I'm hearing stuff.
He's like, I would tell you where your car is. She's like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I swear I would tell you though.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
I'm trying to tell you, like, no matter what. I don't owe them anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would tell you.
I don't know.
It's just like pleading with this woman. Man.
Yes,
it is
so
Craig, is this you?
Yeah.
When she pulled that picture, like, how did you get that picture? Like, I would be so creeped out. Like,
well, me too. Yeah, like that is not me, and you are angry at me right now.
You're yelling at me, and I didn't even do anything but posing a picture.
Yeah,
it was so funny. Now, when they were in the restaurant, and then they came into the same one though. That crowd had me laughing so hard because they were so excited for Tiffany Haddish's character. They were like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're going to get him.
Absolutely. They went that way, and then the one dude's in the background, he's like, you talk too much.
Yeah, you are talking too much. Yeah. She was so excited. She's like,
she's so excited for it. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because like she was like, she has a gun. It was like, it was a staple gun. Like,
let's
settle down, all right?
Yes,
let's not go too crazy. She could Tiffany Haddish like firing at them.
I thought that maybe like in some of the scenes there were some other acting people in there.
Yeah.
But I don't think so, man. Like going back to rewatch what the stuff they showed at the very end. Yeah. I really don't think there was any.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I mean,
because to me, it makes sense of like the.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, go ahead. No, well, I'm just saying the plant thing. Like if you planted somebody in the thing,
it becomes
to rile the crowd up. Well, yeah, but like a little bit though. You know what I mean? Like somebody just like kind of round the crowd. They're not actually involved in trying to get on TV, but like just trying to put a rise out there a little bit more. You know what I mean? Of just like getting people amped up. Like you know what I mean? Like that was my only thinking because. So the one scene that I thought that people that thought were fake, I won't go into great detail about it, but the gorilla scene.
All right, so like, there were some scenes where I'm like, humanity is awful.
Awful.
Nobody is stepping in. Like,
not one bit.
Yeah, the zoo scene, I was like, nobody's gonna go in there.
Yeah, they're just yelling. They're just yelling. I mean, this guy is, hurting. Very terribly. Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And you're actually watching it. You're actually recording your phone. I mean, there was like 3 people to pull their phones out. Oh my gosh!
Well, like,
watch. I'm like, all right, well, that ain't working.
I love when he went back in, and it was like, I'm like, yeah, of course, because you're Eric Andre, and it wouldn't be finished unless you went back in, bro. Of course,
yes, it wasn't finished.
Oh, I left my phone. Hold on, I gotta go back in. They're all like, no, don't go back in.
Yeah,
don't go back in. It's like,
what are you doing? Yeah.
But yeah, I tend to agree with you though. Like if I was in that situation and I saw a person like Eric Andre, I personally would be like, oh, that's Eric Andre. But he's on Adult Swim. I don't know if like that's like heavily watched. I mean, ask most of our friends. You watch the Eric Andre show? No, who's Eric Andre? Yeah,
exactly. I guess you're right. Yeah. I guess you're right.
It's like, if you only knew, you know.
Yeah. Everybody knows Impractical Jokers. You know what I mean? Like comparing the two things to it. So I guess Eric Andre would definitely not be known.
Yeah.
As much. I would. You know what I mean? But But I guess certain people. I guess you're right.
I'd be like, this seems really chaotic.
Yeah.
That's Eric Andre.
Yeah.
What's
that camera doing over there?
I'm gonna sit back and watch this one out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's awesome.
It did not disappoint.
No. I at first, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I started watching it, I woke up early Sunday morning. For some reason, I'm like, oh, you know what? I woke up super early, and I'm just going to watch this right now. I was not in the right state of mind. I watched like 15 minutes of it. I'm like, you know what? This is a movie that I'm going to want to get up with. I'm going to want to like not get up with, but like, you know, get my day going, get my morning jiggles out, you know what I mean? Get all that out. And then I'll sit back and actually like watch the movie. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, you know, something wrong. I'm like, you know, I'm watching it and then I look at my phone for a second because the phone goes off. I'm like checking my phone from the night before, right? So all this starts happening. I'm like, this is just not.
I'm not focused.
It's not centered the time for it. Guy here. So I was a little bit like nervous about watching because I didn't laugh one time for the first 15 minutes the first time I watched it. So I rewatched from the very beginning and I laughed the whole entire time. So I mean, I'm like, perfect, way better situation the second time. You know, I was very pumped about it.
There's one of the first scenes though of Tiffany Haddish's character meeting Lil Rel Howery's character. I was in utter shock because like if anybody witnessed that, I would just be like, oh my god, like, that's your sister, dude. Like, I think you might need to call the cops, man. Like,
yeah, seriously. Yeah, your sister's is abusing you, man.
Yeah, like, I know you're punking me. I know you have more money than that.
Yeah.
Oh, that
What's this? He goes, that's $2.
Yeah, that's my lunch money.
Yeah, that's my lunch money.
Oh, that one lady in the back row was like, don't give it to her.
No. Like, yeah, they have their arms crossed, and then she's just shoving money in their arms.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And then takes her. It takes like her house arrest bracelet.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, can you hold this? And they just take it from her. I mean,
well, yeah. Who does that? Yeah. Yeah. I guess at the same time, though, you know what I mean? In that perspective.
Well, yeah, like you're so shocked.
Exactly. You're just like, okay. You know what I mean? You're just scared. I mean, she's a scary thing. A
scary character.
Yes. She played the part so well, which is so awesome, man.
Tiffany Haddish is so funny, man. When she's in the car with the door ripped off and she's just like flipping off. So hard. I know it's even like in the commercials or whatever, but I laugh still because she's just so intense.
Yeah, all the time.
So funny, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. So the last scene that I want to talk about a little bit was just how scared this person was and like how he reacted as a normal human being, okay? Remember when the bus pulls up and then somebody's crawling out the bottom? He goes and helps her and it's like, oh man, I messed up. Like,
yeah,
that's the way, you know.
Go that way.
Well, exactly.
Go that way.
Yeah. Go now. They're looking for you. It's so funny.
Don't come back. No, don't.
Exactly. Yeah. And then she runs back. I love you. Gives him a hug. Just go. He's getting so mad. Oh my goodness. That's another part that I was just. Great.
Yeah.
Reactions. That's the part I love about it. Like every reaction, and see, like that's one thing about some of these shows too. I mean, how many different people did he do it to? Right? There's no way this is the one. This is not the one shot that they got for every single one.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, I want to see the other ones
a
little bit. Oh yeah, for sure. Like the one at the very end of the credits too, about the one. I'm not gonna talk about what scene, but there's an old man in there, and then that's when he first meets the girl. Do you know what I'm talking about? He's in the backseat of the car.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Did you see at the very end where we saw the? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He just did. so funny.
Would not like, dude. It's like above all, it's a human body in need, man. Like, give the guy the shirt off your back or something. Like, come on. Like,
yeah. Well, like the guy in the actual movie, he's like, he goes, "Give me your coat, give me your coat." And he's like, "Okay,
dude, that was the nicest guy in the world."
I mean, could you imagine that? Yeah,
that guy was just like, "Yeah, you're right. Here you go." He let him like hop in the back of the car, butt naked.
If it's a car, exactly.
Get her number, dude. Get her number.
He tries. That's the crazy part.
Oh, dude, that was the nicest guy in the world, man.
Absolutely. He actually did run into a lot of them, actually, because even like the one scene where they're getting a fight. Okay, everybody knows buddy things, so they're getting ready to fight a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. And then remember the one dude split them up,
the guy
trying to make him talk him into it and stuff. Exactly. Yes.
All right. So when they're like. Not spoilers or whatever. I think we're beyond that. But they had just done something to the car, and that scene is coming up, and they had said like this car's stolen, and the guy's like, "All right, first off, I'm gonna tell you, don't say that again, or don't bring that up again." Like that is not gonna help you out.
Yeah. Yep. I love the honesty. You know?
Yeah, like, that dude was just like, "All right, first off, I'm gonna help you guys get out of this, but you're gonna have to like get along for just a minute." So good. There's the bar scene where like something happens, and the one lady is like, "You need to call an ambulance because he's definitely not right." He's like, because he was just like, everywhere, and dude. Just the lady was so concerned. It was like,
yes,
I love that there are some people in some of these shots. Like, I mean, obviously the zoo one too, but hanging off the roof or whatever. Where you're like, some people are just like. Sitting back and eating or filming.
It's a show.
It's just like, oh my God.
It's insane. I mean, in that scene, like, the one thing that I want to know about, and this is just because of us shooting those films and, different things like that. How do they do that scene so well? How did they? Because if you actually watch the scene, it does not look like it looks like she's just hanging. So I mean, when you know what I'm saying, I don't want to like give the entire thing away, but
what I'm guessing is, what's really funny is they have a drone shot that goes over first, because there's a food truck and everything. So there's like a drone shot that goes over first before like they have all their other shots.
Yeah,
and then they obviously have somebody on the ground shooting up, and then I'm pretty sure that they would have had a harness system hooked up from Tiffany Haddish's, like have a vest and through their arms or some way, because she was like, the way she was like holding him, it was almost like they were connected. Like there was no way that he would actually fall or anything. And I think it was just like a simple like a mechanism. So like all the shots that they did up top was probably like either before or like just after that. They probably removed all of that and then filmed it.
Got it. Okay. It was just, at first I'm like, man, like that's impressive to sit back and actually
the way she like just like
well, I know.
Casually just like flops them back over. I'm like, I'm not saying Tiffany Haddish isn't that strong, but it just looked like it was just like plop.
Yep. I'm like, okay. Well, that's actually what made me really. Yes, it made me really think about it. 'Cause like watching the scene, I'm like laughing at it. You know what I mean? I'm like doing all this, and then afterwards, I'm like, man, that's impressive. Of what she just now, like, okay, wait a minute. Then that leads back to this, right? You know what I mean?
Right. So like, how do they get all these shots and weave it all together? Yeah.
Because that was like, so I went back and actually watched a little bit of like that scene. I went back and watched like a couple of them to rewatch them because I thought they were so funny. Like that's how much I love the movie. I went back and watched certain scenes twice because I thought they were so funny. You know what I mean? Because the first time you miss stuff like,
oh yeah, when you're laughing so hard, you miss
like that's the thing.
Direct next thing, yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I got to go back and make sure I'm like seeing it all, and you know what I mean, really dive into it. So the real funny ones I watched a couple times. So
when they were talking about White Chicks and how it's his favorite movie and everything, and how it's like, well, they fooled Terry Crews, and I was like, you realize that's a movie, right?
Yeah.
They didn't fool Terry Crews.
No.
But anyways, when they come out of the supermarket and they ask that white girl, like, are you a black man? She's just like, what?
No. Yeah. Yeah. That's weird.
It's like you just for some reason it just made us laugh so hard because it was like a regular conversation and then bam, you just hit this lady who's just sitting there off in whatever land. Like, wait a minute, what?
What did you just ask me? That is so fun. I didn't think about it. I don't know. I don't remember. But
if for some reason, oh man, because it was just like white chicks,
Yeah.
Oh man, so funny. Obviously, that white chicks comes back up.
Yep.
And Terry Crews would be impressed.
He would be.
I think Terry Crews would be probably swayed again.
Yes. Agreed.
Leave now. I'm the DJ now.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
play the music. Leave now. Like, oh man, she is still so intense.
Yep, she's getting it right now. I love it. Yeah, she played. Oh, I think she was intense throughout the entire thing. Actually, I mean, besides the very end. Well, not the very end, but you know what I mean. Like,
well, right, part, yeah, she's still pretty intense. Like,
yeah,
I'm going down to Mexico now.
Yeah.
Start a new life in Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh man,
like it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
what's that?
No, to say that was just a great movie. That's just in general. I mean, it was just a.
I was so pleased. I was so happy. I was like, man, that's how it's done.
Yep.
Eric Andre had posted that I think the critic score was a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience score is a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. Which is perfect for him. But yeah, I'm like, it was funny. I don't know. I mean, if you like that, if you like Jackass, if you like that hidden camera type of stuff, that reaction type of stuff,
yeah,
it is hilarious.
Yep.
I really want Eric Andre and Tim Robinson still to.
Yeah, you said that before too.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised actually they haven't actually.
Yeah. I was really worried that we weren't going to talk much about this movie because I watched it. We laughed so hard, and then we increasingly busy over the next few days, and then Jessica and I started The Leftovers.
Oh, nice. How is it? Because I'm not gonna lie though, I for some reason I've been really eyeing this thing up since you've been talking about it so much. So,
it is phenomenal. I am addicted already. So we started watching it last night.
Okay.
And I personally did not go to sleep until around after 3 a.m.
Are you kidding me?
Jessica fell asleep in the middle of episode 5, and I finished that one and then watched episode 6. I'm like, I'm watching one more. And then after episode 6, I'm like, I cannot. I have to get some sort of sleep. But if I just kept it on, I would have stayed awake. It is fantastic.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Everything I read about it, they said it is too. So it's not. You mean like I didn't read a bunch. I'm just saying like the couple. I'm like, okay, well, it's just.
it's like a dark and dreary type of thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Like people have disappeared. Like almost like the Rapture. Like there's like people, and then in one specific town, there's like 100 or so that have disappeared. And it's like the effect of the people that are left, the leftovers. It is so good, and I don't know how Justin Theroux, I think that's how you say it. Hey, he's awesome. I really like his character. I like all the characters. I like all the acting. Every single character. Like it's so good.
Really,
and it's captivating and enthralling, and it's interesting, and you're like, okay, I would like to know more. Let's keep watching.
Yeah.
So there's only 3 seasons, so they can get knocked out.
Okay, is there a bunch of episodes per season?
It's an HBO show, so I think it's only 10 episodes.
Okay. Sometimes I mean, obviously, I love Lost. I'm not saying that by any means.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that one has, I know, and that one just, it always makes me scared. Even if somebody's like, "Oh, it's only 3 seasons." Okay, but if there's 24 episodes, it's 72. You know, I'm just saying.
150 episodes. I don't know, man. Like that's still a lot of episodes.
Long.
It's only 2 seasons, yeah, but they're 50 episode seasons, man.
That's what. So that's what makes me nervous. Always got to ask that question. So I don't care how many seasons there are. How many episodes? That's the real question.
That's the real question. I like that. That's why I love HBO, man.
Well, yeah, you're right.
HBO's like, hey, we have like 53 to like an hour and 7-minute episodes. And every series, it seems like almost every series has like that weird limit of like it either ends in 53 or a minute or an hour and 7. Like it's so weird. But everything fits perfectly. I love HBO, man. I mean, I love Netflix and all, but HBO. Get a chance to write for HBO, man. That's just they hit different.
Yeah, well,
they just hit different, you know.
They definitely hit different, 100%. I mean, think about one of the biggest shows of, the past 5 years or whatever, 6 years was Game of Thrones. Well, like before that, they ruined it.
Well, right, but for at least 7 seasons.
It was the most watched thing.
Yeah.
So I put on Facebook one time that winter was coming, and do you know that actually came up as my year, like the year thing at the very end? That was my most liked and commented post out of everything I posted all year.
Game of Thrones used to bring people together.
Well, exactly. So everybody at one time all was like, "Yep, here it comes," because it's true. Everybody's so pumped for it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was hilarious when I went back and because it always gives you that memory, right? Your most liked photo, your most commented photo. I'm like, what? Get out of here! So, but anyways,
winter is coming.
Winter is coming. So, but yes, HBO would be sweet to write for. They are a step above, I think, people. Okay. So the one thing, my personal opinion on that is there are a bunch of comedies on HBO. I think there are a lot of like darker humor and things like that for the writers of HBO.
Yeah, I think it just has like a different they
hit different.
They
right?
hit different, you know. It's like that. Sure, you're pro, and then you hit like the best pro team of the pro. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, but that's like the elitist thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to sound like that, but HBO just hits different. This is an HBO ad, by the way.
Yes. Huh.
Just haven't been paid for it yet. HBO Max.
Yeah.
Now with Corey and Kevin talk about HBO Max. They have Zack Snyder's Justice League now. They have a new that Godzilla vs Kong or Kong vs Godzilla.
Yeah. They have that Mortal Kombat coming out, which I'm pretty excited for.
I'm
pretty pumped about that
man.
one. Yeah, so I'm liking that one. That's coming out, I think, April 16th. I'm pretty sure.
But let's get to the real deal. Their TV shows.
Yeah.
Succession.
Okay, so that's one I've never watched. I'm actually disappointed in myself too. But go ahead.
But they have like miniseries too, right? There's one called The Night Of. Oh, dude, it's. Like if you like True Detective and like the like dark and seedy kind of stuff like that, man. The Night Of is excellent. It's excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah, there's a guy Riz Ahmed. He's in a bunch of movies, but he is in this show.
Okay.
And he's like this innocent kid who has a very bad night. And there's a process. It's almost like with our current judicial system, the criminal system, that if you're like denied bail and you're in jail until your hearing, well, you have to live amongst criminals. So you're already being treated like a criminal. Not only that, you have to fit in. And that starts changing you, whether you want to or not. You're adapting to live, you know?
Yeah.
It's a really crazy look at what something can do to a person just because of, being thrown into jail, having bond. Like say you are innocent, right? And you still have a court case to get to. Well, it's not like you have a court case the next day.
Yeah.
You got to build a case, all that. I mean, so it's absolutely insane. But the night of, man, it was phenomenal.
Okay. No, I definitely have to, because I'm getting drawn on all my other shows, so I'm ready.
Yeah. It just that's gonna have to be their next commercial. HBO just hits different, you know. HBO bangs, you know.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I like it. I mean, I've watched majority of. I liked a lot of them so far. So,
Succession is one I cannot wait for Succession season 3 to come out. Oh, Euphoria, dude. I mean, there's so many good stuff. There's so much good stuff. Watchmen.
Yes, I was shocked. I was blown away that you did not say that one yet.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where
Band of Brothers?
Was just thinking about. Band of Brothers, and then the other one I was thinking of was that. Isn't that the one that the? Oh my gosh, the one where the town got all.
The town got all.
No, they got all. They're all messed. They got the chemicals. I cannot think of it. I know as soon as I say it too. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't think
it was so. It was a true story. Put the dome over the place.
Chernobyl.
Thank you. Yes, Chernobyl. I was getting upset over
this
here.
This is like some crazy Pictionary right there.
Yes, I know. I'm like, how can I build this thing?
Yeah, right. Let me draw a dome over some
exactly.
some bad radiation. You know,
radiation. That's the word I'm looking for too. That was two terrible things, dude. I just could not figure out right there.
Man, right. Chernobyl.
Anyways, but Chernobyl was great. Hits
different.
Yes, that was a good one. Actually, I think that might have been like actually what started me. Not well, you know what I mean. Like it was just it was just great to watch. You know what I mean. But I think that might have been the first one that actually I like looked into to actually watch besides Game of Thrones. Before HBO was only Game of Thrones for me. I mean, that was it.
Right.
Like, I mean, so I really didn't. I mean, you remember what happened when I was trying to catch up on Game of Thrones. I mean, I pumped through so many episodes and so many seasons of Game of Thrones to get caught up with my friends so I can watch them with them on Sundays, right? Was it Sundays?
Sundays, yep.
Yes. So I mean, I paid, but I only paid for, I think it was 2 months before that all happened, and I caught up on every season.
Smashed it all in, and well, I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
I will always pay for. Well, I don't.
Well,
I am an AT&T user, so thankfully, AT&T, awesome. Warner Bros, HBO Max.
I do have HBO though, so I pay for it again.
Yeah, right. I mean, if I didn't get it, I would pay for it because I love HBO, man.
For sure.
They're good.
Different.
I didn't know it was going to be too much.
No. You just swing it up, you know?
If people are like, I'm not paying for HBO, I'm like, I strongly advise you to rethink that. Check out a free trial. Check out their shows, man. Oh,
exactly. Or just go switch from other services to AT&T and you get free anyway. So
there you go. If you got AT&T fiber, I don't know. Are we getting paid for any of these?
I'm not sure yet, but we should. I mean, we'll send them in.
Right. Yeah. We'll submit this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like I know it's like a premium subscription channel or whatever they call them now, or HBO, but that's what I was gonna say. You know, in the I Love You Man, there's like these scenes where slap in the base. Well, he says that on Sundays, like he goes home because him and his girl watch. It's HBO Sundays, and it's because like usually the best HBO shows come out on Sundays, or whatever. And I'm like, man, that's kind of like what it winds up being, because you're like, well, all the best shows are on HBO right now, so I'm like trying to. I mean, not all the best shows. I loved Narcos. Remember?
Yes,
still sad it's over, right?
Yeah, I'm still searching for that and typing on my email.
I will always pay for Netflix too. So don't go anywhere, Netflix. I love you too, but HBO. HBO gave me Watchmen. Yeah.
It did. Yeah.
HBO gave me Band of Brothers, though. I mean, come on now.
No. It's pretty great.
It's pretty great. You just can't. You can't put a price on it. That's a Michael Scott. Because like you can put a price on it because you can go out and get a paid package. I forget what it was, but it was like he said something. I've been watching some because it's on Comedy Central every now and then. So I'll just throw. I'm always like, if I'm throwing on Sling, I'm always like, please, I hope The Office is on. It's the only reason so funny, I have Sling on. Yeah. The Office or South Park is all that gets watched right now.
That's all. So I definitely watch South Park quite a bit too, but. I had somebody over last week, and when she stopped over, I had it on, and she goes, you still watch this show? And I said, yeah. I'm like, they took it away from me, so I got to get it in when I can. That was my exact response. I can't. What do you want me to do? It's so funny. It was awesome. So that's what that was. But yeah, so it's pretty good. I have to. I mean, I just don't care anymore. You know what I mean? I've also caught myself going through YouTube. And before, like, you know how you watch outtakes? Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if you do. I do. I think outtakes are so funny.
Outtakes are hilarious. Yeah.
I mean, they're hilarious. So I've watched them before about The Office. Well, now there's like clips coming out because I think Peacock's trying to get their name out there again to like bring back old viewers and stuff. So there's like different like scenes that come up when you click on one, and then all of a sudden you go to that page like that kind of goes through their videos. I just watch one after another. Well, next thing you know, I'm watching 25 minutes. I'm like, well, there's an episode. You know what I mean? I watched 6 different episodes of this one different thing, right? It was like, they're not outtakes. They're just actual scenes. You know what I mean? They'll do like, the Dwight and Jim. Remember where Jim acted like Dwight, and then Dwight acted like Jim.
Yeah, right.
That was 2.5 minute thing or whatever. I laughed the entire time. It was awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it was great. So I really enjoyed that, But
that's.
I just get it when you can,
It's just like I was just sitting on the couch watching it, and I'm like, I know I've seen this episode like 4 or 5 times, but still, I just find myself laughing. It's when they think that the branch is closing. And Nashua is going to absorb them or whatever. Yeah. And Creed is like selling the computer, like selling all the stuff in the office. He's got these thick wads of cash, man. It's just, I just laughing so hard. Yeah. And then you go to the Nashua branch and that guy, was Josh or something like that. And it's just like, guys,
nothing's official yet.
Yeah, yes, nothing's official yet. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I found out truly when Michael and Dwight are like friends in that scene, like fully. We knew that Dwight loved Michael, but I wasn't always sure about like Michael loving Dwight all that much. Yeah. But in that one, they truly, I'm like, yep, they're actually friends. Like, they're true friends in this one.
Because
that's the one. That's where Michael and Dwight, they go to New York to try to stop the branch from getting closed, right? That's the episode. So then they're out front of their boss.
That's right.
Yes. So like that scene, they're all met. They're timing each other up, right? So
that's right.
Practice what you're gonna say.
David Wallace. Yeah,
remember they sit in the car and they're like. Then he said, "What was one memory or one thing that I've told you that you lived with?" He said. Dwight looks at him. He's like, "You told me not to be an idiot."
Yeah, you told me not to be an idiot.
It made me laugh so hard. I just can't help it. I can watch it. Like, I know the scene's coming up. It's one of those like, I'm prepared for this time.
Yeah.
And it comes out, I'll at least like chuckle. Like that's awesome. It's just that I just love that episode too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to The Office. All these years, still talking about it.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'll get to that book. One of these days.
They also have a book?
Yeah, I think it's Alan Green or Alex. I don't know. I don't remember who the writer is, but it's like a bunch of behind the scenes facts, stories, things you didn't know about episodes, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's like a big book though. I mean, it was a long series too.
No, I mean super long. I wouldn't say too long, but
I would say too long. I would have said never get rid of Michael Scott. And if you were going to get rid of Michael Scott,
end it.
Yeah, it's probably a good time to figure out how to shoot that horse.
Well, exactly. Well, yeah. So that's what like that. It ended up being too long. But if they would have kept Michael Scott and stuff, it could have kept going. That's my whole. Like that's my like they could have seen where it went from there.
There was even like a moment or two where like it was kind of even like, where are we going with this? Like when it was the Michael Scott Paper Company, where it was like, all right, where are we like ultimately going with this? Like this just feels weird. I didn't like Luther's character at all. I love Idris Elba, but I did not like Luther. Man, I think his name is Luther. Remember, he takes over Michael's position. He hates Jim, especially at the volleyball games.
Yeah, is that his name's Luther? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's not ringing a bell for me.
All right,
what's the actor's name?
What's that?
That's the actor's name again?
Idris Elba, The Office. His name was Charles Minor.
Yes, Charles. Yes.
He plays he has a TV show on Netflix called Luther.
I was gonna say, wait a minute, dude. Like that is like you are throwing me a curveball.
Charles Minor, that's it. I love Idris Elba, but I did not like his character on The Office.
No, I don't. I think that it was I don't know. It was over. I don't know. It was overspent. It was just too much. Right?
Yeah, it was just like a weird part of time.
Yeah. Well, like just this weird person to come in that you never meet, never do anything. That's just gonna come take over the episodes for 4 or 5 in a row, and then he's gonna disappear. You know what I mean? He just disappears. It's weird. The whole thing was weird.
I liked. The way he made Jim feel, because like.
Well, yeah. Don't get me wrong. He had funny parts, but
those were the best parts. Like when they're like gonna go play soccer, and then like Jim's like, I don't want to.
Yeah. Why'd I say that? Yes. Why did I say I play soccer?
The best is when he comes in and Jim's in a tuxedo.
Because it was
I forget what it was for, but it's like,
it was Dwight, but put a statement out saying something about the dress code about the office.
That's
so then he came in because I remember Jim blaming Dwight for what Dwight did. That's why Jim came into it. I just remember that one saying about it, but it was man.
That's right.
He's like, you look really sharp. Michael's like, what are you worried about? You look really sharp. No.
Yeah, no, I look like an idiot.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, no, I do not.
Slick back hair. Like an idiot.
You remember when he's standing up on the chair? He stands and put his foot on the chair. He's looking like that's not fancy enough. I'll never forget that. Like it's just this is the part that he's playing, and it said the same thing Dwight did. I love The Office, man. The Office is pushing number 2.
Pushing number 2. What's your number 1? Lost?
What? Yeah, Lost. Yeah. Well, it's Lost, and then probably if I rank them right now,
I was gonna say that's hard just because of like genre cutting there, you know.
Well, for sure, exactly. Yeah. See, if I'm breaking down by genre, totally different. You know what I mean? Right. But like if I'm going by favorite all time TV shows, you know what I mean? It would be definitely be. But then that's the hard part. I mean, so that's really hard though, because then there's a lot more. I'm even breaking down though too, because then It's Always Sunny in The Office. But then there's Breaking Bad, you know, like there's so many more that's gonna it's hard to teeter those ones, man. It's just difficult. So
there's True Detective season 1.
Oh, yeah, I mean that was phenomenal.
There's just too much good content.
Exactly. That's hard. So I just really don't know. I mean, I guess you had to break them down. Like, you can't.
I would say like for emotional value and like just loving the characters and loving the story and loving it like through and through and everything that it is, Lost. Like Lost will always be like my top favorite show.
Yeah, that's why I just ranked it number 1. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Almost on that one. Yeah.
I mean, the amount of times I've rewatched that, or just throw on the finale, you know, for a good cry. You know, you just want to cry. You know. Anyways, but I love Lost. But yeah, Breaking Bad, it would definitely have to be like number 2. I mean, there's no other show that I have seen that ended on such a perfect note. Yeah, like hey, you want to reboot Breaking Bad? Hey, do you want to piss off like a billion people.
Exactly.
No.
I mean, has you ever heard anybody say that they did not like the ending? I've never heard any single person that I've known that watched the show said they did not like the ending. And then, I mean, don't be wrong. I don't know a lot of people that's watched it. I'm not saying that by any means, but enough of the people, I mean, are blown away by the entire.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, I was just talking with my brother, and he said, he's watched like all of Better Call Saul, and he's waiting for the new season to come out. And he said, in his opinion, it rivals Breaking Bad. He's like, it's like really good. I'm like, interesting. Okay. I was like, we watched like 1 or 2 episodes and then just kind of fell off. So
yeah, it was weird. I don't know if I watched it like right after. Was it because didn't that come out right before Breaking Bad ended?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just too much. I think I was confused. To me, I just didn't understand because I'm still in the Breaking Bad form, and then going to this other one that goes like in a different view at a different timing. It was just like the whole thing. I just didn't. I think that was my opinion when it first came out, and then I said I'm like I'll watch Better Call Saul later. And I just never got around to it, so
yeah,
I just didn't, you know what I mean?
And I think they're all on net. Well, not all, but I think most of them are on Netflix. So who knows? We'll
yeah.
My brother and I definitely have like very very similar taste. I wanted to ask him a question today. I wanted to ask him, maybe one day if he ever listens to these. Have you ever watched the movie The Lighthouse? I was generally intrigued today, but I completely forgot to ask.
You should watch it if you haven't watched it because it's one of the greatest movies that I've watched this year so far.
That's excellent. That's impressive.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I keep going back to it. That's the funny part. Like,
yeah, because those characters are so damn fun, man.
Exactly.
Like,
it was great. It was just
if you cannot watch that movie and if you can watch the movie and not enjoy the relationship between those two characters, I mean, like, oh, it was like that's the whole movie. Like, yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it so much.
Well, and the one thing too that makes me mad about it is I jumped into it the first time I ever watched it too early, and it just like thinking back that I was so mad and put so much negativity towards it because I watched 5 to 10 minutes or whatever I watched of it the first time. I'm like mad at myself. Like why?
Right? Like why would I do
that?
I mean? Why would I not? Yeah, especially like that type of movie. You don't just jump into that.
No, well, I had no idea. I just stopped over at a friend's house and they're watching it, and then I feel bad. So you know what I mean? Like, and then recently they're like, okay, we should just stop watching this. But anyways, that's what happened though. You know what I mean? Because it was just too much. So
those same friends didn't like Parasite either. They turned it off, and I'm like, you might be the first people I've heard that did not like Parasite. I was like, that is an excellent movie. That is like a masterpiece movie.
Yes,
man.
That's insane. That actually what started my whole entire realm into doing more of like subtitle movies.
Oh yeah, things that are not like your typical genre of movies. Yeah, like
it's insane.
I can branch off and like really enjoy other stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. It's weird.
That's why I love that we got the opportunity to watch that Externo movie. Because it was just like, this is awesome. Like, you don't see this.
Mm-hmm. It was different. And it was sweet. It was, it really was. Like,
just hits
really
different.
Thought about it. HBO.
Yeah, HBO. It just hits different.
Just hits
Boom. Or there.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love you, HBO.
Yep. Sign me up.
One day, when we've got like the silver YouTube platters and our Anchor and Spotify numbers are through the mansion roofs, and they'll be like, okay, guys, we see you.
Yes, I got you.
Now, one of these days, I want to go back and watch The Sopranos, and one of these days, I want to go back and watch 6 Feet Under. Those ones are on HBO shows that I... Oh, and The Wire. I want to go back and watch The Wire as well.
Did you watch The Wire at all?
We watched, I think, one episode. We do that a lot, where we're like, you know... it's like a lottery system, you know?
Okay. Which one sticks?
Yeah. Now, lately, we've been like, we're sticking with a task. I don't know what's after Leftovers, though. The way it's going, probably Leftovers again.
Yeah, it's probably it. No, what you should watch is that one that I was talking about before, the other one, that game. I was trying to think about it. It has Alice in Borderland.
Oh yes,
Telling you,
yes.
you should after Leftovers. If you just give it the first. The problem is, I mean, if you give it the first 3 episodes, you might as well watch them all because you're already so far. But I would say give it the first 2 episodes and see. The 3rd episode is probably the best episode out of all of them, though. It makes you truly get into it. I was thinking about the movie. I was thinking about watching it again the other day, and that's what made me just bring it back.
That's
up.
sweet. That's a good show, man.
So, exactly is because I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Right, that was my whole thought process. Right, like go back and make sure I didn't. Because at the very end they still leave you. It's always a little cliffhanger. It's supposed to come back for another episode, another season. So they're not going to give you all the details. You know what I mean?
Dun.
Exactly. So there's always that next thing. So it just makes me want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So when I go into the next season, I'm ready.
Man.
Telling you.
Yeah. Well, then it shall be.
Boom.
That'll be after the Leftovers.
Boom. And that's another quick one too, just so you know. It's really
only 2
not very
seasons.
long. No, I think it's only 6 or 8 episodes, like total. That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's to be a really quick. Like you can bust out in the week. You know what I mean? I busted out. I think literally in 4 days or 5 days. I think. It didn't take me very long. I started on Sunday and finished it by like Thursday the next week. So
that's sweet.
Yeah,
I know there's like a ton of stuff on Netflix right now that I want to watch.
No.
There's the last blockbuster. The last blockbuster. You never heard of the last blockbuster? The last blockbuster. The last blockbuster. Just make sure you got that. Have you heard of? Have you heard of the last blockbuster? That's a tongue twister, man. Try that out.
I was going to say.
Try that one out.
All right. The last blockbuster.
The last blockbuster. Say it real quick, though. Say it real quick.
Hold on. All right. The last.
No, don't even read it. Just say it.
The last blockbuster.
It's so hard to say really quick.
It's just in my head now. Give me a second and I'll get back to it. Go ahead, though.
Have you ever watched The Last Blockbuster on Netflix? That's one I would like to also watch.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. The Last Blockbuster I've never seen before.
Oh, man. So anyways, Bad Trip, Netflix. Watch it.
Great A.
Eric Andre. That's the recommendation. What do you got for us?
So I don't have much. I did a little bit of research. I'm not gonna lie. I did a little bit of research on Hannibal. So if you want to know some details about Hannibal, that's why I looked it up. When you said that, I'm like, nah. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh, are you kidding me?
You looked up
animals? I didn't cross-reference. Yeah. No, so I got some, Eric Andre things.
Yeah.
So the Eric Andre, man, I actually didn't realize that he actually has, some movies that I didn't, realize that he was in. And one thing I got to give Eric Andre some credit for. So they were talking about before, how he Eric Andre just seems like one of those guys that would not be a personal person to talk to, right? Like not one of those guys that you see on the street that you want to go talk to, right? It's just because the way he's acting so crazy.
Right.
Just if that's how he acts outside of everything, you know what I mean? If that's, you know what I mean? You're like, okay, well, that's not a guy that I don't necessarily would want to be in the street, right? But actually, seeing him go back and interact with the people, after what happens on the show and stuff, that's the whole thing that happens. He was so cool.
Yeah.
He was
so
cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The entire time. So I'm like, man, just really made me like and enjoy him. And, and I just have this persona of him about the Eric Andre show. That's just what I have, So going back to look at it, he's actually done, he's actually he's just an average guy. He's just out there doing his thing. You know what I mean? But I didn't realize that he actually, do you know that he was actually in the movie The Lion King? He actually voiced over, how do you say it? Aziz.
I don't. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. But yeah, I did know that. That's one of those things where I'm like, holy crap! They put Eric Andre in a Disney movie.
Well, that's what blew my mind.
That's
that
crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like. Wait a minute, no way. And a couple things I forgot. So did you ever watch Two Broke Girls?
Yeah, he's in that.
So I didn't realize Eric Andre was in that. I have no idea. So like sometimes like when I start doing this research again, all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. I do remember him this one.
Yeah.
I do remember him that one. The Lion King thing, I had no idea. One movie that I did not watch was The Disenchantment. Or it's not the. It's another. Is that a Disney?
Oh, Disenchanted.
Oh no, it's Disenchantment.
Disenchantment. No, I don't know what that one is.
It's a series. It's a comedy series on Netflix right now. I don't know. I honestly didn't do much research in it, but that was one. Man Seeking Woman. I heard a lot. I heard about that show quite a bit. Did you ever reach that one?
No, I didn't watch that one.
So that one has what is his name? His name is Jay
Bruchdahl or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it has him. And then who was the girl? Oh, Britt Lauer. You know who that is?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Britt Lauer. I mean, she's not like a huge character, but I've seen her in a couple other things too. You know what I mean? And then, oh man, I clicked the wrong button. Sorry. Let's see here. I went into something I didn't want to.
It's his porn collection.
Don't worry about it. Hold up. Yeah. And then, have you watched any of his comedy shows? His comedy stand-ups at all?
Yes, actually, I feel like we have, and it was pretty funny. It was man, I can't remember what it was anymore though.
Yeah. So I watched one, but not like I didn't watch it fully. I watched like part of it too when I was doing his research because I played it in the background because I have YouTube Premium, so it plays in the background on the YouTube channel as I'm like looking stuff up and like you know what I mean, like looking for him. And it was actually like some of it was pretty funny. Some of it though, like you have to like Eric Andre, I think, because I think it's hilarious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there's some of those things that just it's not. I mean, it's Eric Andre. He was only been nominated for one award so far.
Hey, that's impressive though.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, I'm not saying that. And then, do you know that dude is 6'2"? That's what I was trying to look for.
Eric Andre is 6'2"?
Eric Andre is 6'2", listed. And I even confirmed it. It was 6'2" on IMDb, and I even went somewhere else to find it, and it said 6'2" as well. I was kind of mind blown by that.
Yeah, it just seems shorter than that.
It just seems shorter than that. It just seems weird. Huh. But at the same time, I don't know if it's like the video camera angles. I mean, obviously it's got to be. But I just did not expect that whatsoever. Yeah. But yeah, other than that though, man, he's been in other things, small things too. Like he has American Dad. He's been in that one, and then the other movie. Wait, who was in it? Oh come on! Oh, it's Internship. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson. I know, but then that's another one that I remember seeing him in that one though. Like once I see it, I'm like, oh, yep, I remember just seeing the air. You know what I mean? But anyways, but that's it though. So nothing crazy. But really, because actually Eric Andre, he really hasn't done much movies and show wise. He's done a lot of his own stuff. I'm not saying that by any means, but not a lot of like. I thought he was actually a bigger, small time actor at first. You're kind of one of those. You know what I mean? And then he wasn't, and that's just. But he is though. It's hard to say. I mean, there's more stuff.
I was gonna say
yeah. I'm not saying that.
In a ton of like other sitcoms, but
yes.
Right.
Yeah, but stuff that like I've watched or even heard of, some of them are not.
Right.
That's all it is. So, but I mean, there's a lot. There's actually a lot that I didn't realize. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, the invention of lying. I've watched that one. I've seen that one before. Have you seen that one at all?
Uh-uh.
The Invention of Lying. It's got
Ricky Gervais.
Let's see. Yeah, Ricky Gervais and Rob Lowe. That's the other guy I was trying to think of.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah, Rob Lowe.
Hitting up on those Atkins commercials, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
What a good name to head on out on.
Yep.
Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe. Or Chris Traeger.
Yeah.
Literally amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a literally amazing week.
Literally, thanks for watching.
And literally, thank you for listening.
We will literally see you next week.